more, even at that time, for his family, so that one day they may know about this God and this earthen vessel that God put a treasure in. The truth is, as I think about it, and if I've had many people in my life to touch me, I would say that Mr. King was the model of a man. He wasn't just anybody. He was a husband and a father, a grandfather, an uncle, a cousin, a friend, and more than all of that, he was a child of the Most High God. I believe that if anybody has been able to just be a fly on the wall of the life that he had to live, you would realize that God had to be doing something through this family. They've had to deal with so much in the past few years. But God brought them through. God showed us strength in this family. He gave all he could. I remember when he sang with the young people, and he wasn't in the greatest of health, but he sang his heart out. He sang with the senior choir and the gospel chorus, the men's chorus, and he even sat in the middle of this room and poured out to us in a special way with his song. I'm telling you, to be in the presence of this church and to see a man that had to go through so much pain, and in my personal conversations, and I'm sure that anyone that was sitting in the kitchen one day with Sister Redale King and Clyde King, and he said he's going to make it to church. And I'm going to keep that between us. But he said that it was something special he had to do. And at the time I said, you know, I've seen God do so much in your life that even in the state right now, it does not look like you're going to be able to walk in this church. Not for a long time. But when I heard he walked in this church, and he told me that God told him that he will walk in this church, that was one of the most prophetic moments I have ever seen. He was faithful. That's why he was named the trustee emeritus. He wasn't afraid of responsibility. He had deep down in his soul a sense of commitment that didn't just come from anywhere. He knew that his presence here had to be felt, because there was such a time as this when he was the leader of the trustee board. And I'm going to tell you, I sat on the trustee board for maybe 3 or 4 months before I became a deacon. And when I looked at him and I saw his demeanor, and I saw how he would encourage people, and I saw the continuance and actually a sanctified succession of leadership, and how he wanted people to know how to lead and be in that spot that he was. He threatened many times that he wouldn't do it for a while, and that his time had come, but he still hung in there, because I believe he knew he had to prepare a way for someone else to come and do things the way they need to be done. In the Baptist church, we call it in good order, you know. And I love him for that, because he taught me so much about church and church administration and how to do things properly and in decent order. I even found out the last time that we talked at his house that he took the music and singing on the road. I had no idea he took the show on the road. We were sitting around there talking to deacons, and Deacon Stoutenberg, he seconded it. He said, yeah, he used to sing with Douglas Lee and John Parsons and George and Milton Borum, and they sang in a quartet called that Sons of Harmony. If only I could wish I had a tape. He made many tapes in his days. I pray that he made a tape of them one time. You know, he was a thinking man. And one thing that I adore in good men is one that has the ability to think critically. And to be able to sit with him, as if you know him, he was a thinking man all the time. Up until a few days when he went home to be with the Lord, he whispered so many things in our ears when we were sitting around him, and he was telling us so many things about his vision. He was an architect. He talked about the drawings that he and my father, they designed, and how to do things over here, and he had even plans for over here that we're going to keep right there within our heart, right, Deacon Staudenberg? He didn't pretend to be something that he